Hey everyone, it's CL. Welcome back to another video. So in the month of February, I was really craving a good challenge. And not only that, I'm in like a good mood. I'm really in like a reading mood. Like I really want to churn out the books. So for the month of February, I am challenging myself to a pretty big TBR, and I'm participating in as many readathons as I can. I think I currently have like 3 or 4. But in this video, I'm going to talk about my strategy for tackling like a big TBR. So for the month of February, I really want to challenge myself to see how much I can read. So as far as the readathons that I'm participating in currently, because these are the ones that I'm just aware of, I'm participating in Emojiathon, which takes place all month. They have a list of 15 challenges, but you are like to pick 4 of the challenges and complete at least 4 challenges. For myself, I'm going to target 4, but if I can, I want to hit as many of the challenges as possible since we do have all month. So at minimum, I will do 4 challenges, but if I have time, I really want to tackle more than 4. I will also be participating in readsoullit. Now that's technically not a readathon, but they do have a group book that we're all going to read together, which is Bedrock Faith. I've never participated in readsoullit before, so I'm really excited to read this book along with everyone and participate in the discussion that is out there on Goodreads. So I am a little bit behind on this one, but since we do have all month, and I could always go back to those discussions and participate once I catch up. So readsoullit, it also takes place for the month of February, and I think that's technically a read-along, not a readathon, but one of the things I want to also do for the month of February. I'm also going to be participating in timehopathon, which takes place from February 20th to the 26th, and they have a list of 5 challenges. And I'm also participating, and this is going on right now, I am participating in TBR Takedown 5.0, which takes place between February 6th and February 12th. So that one is winding down in the next few days. With all readathons, they do give you challenges. So like for timehopathon and TBR Takedown 5.0, there are 5 challenges, but you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them. But for myself, I want to try to do all of them. So I want to push myself in the month of February. So that is my goal. If I don't hit that goal per se, if I complete 4 out of the 5 challenges, I'm okay with that, you know. But I just want to see what I can do. So those are the current readathons and read-alongs that I'm participating in February. So now my strategy for tackling my ambitious February TBR and all these readathons that I want to participate in is to first and foremost get organized and like write them out in my journal. So mine's really simple. For example, this is Emojiathon. I wrote down all the 15 challenges, so it will help me out and I don't have to keep referring back to the video to see what the challenges are. And I also wrote down like the dates for like readsoullit and timehopathon along with the challenges. And I like to put the dates so I'm just aware of like when it's going to start so I can plan a little better. Another thing that I did is to create a reading schedule. Now my reading schedule, whenever I participate in a readathon, and normally it's like 1 at a time, I do create a reading schedule for the week and kind of map it out that way. But since I am participating in things that encompass the whole month, like during the whole month I'm going to be doing things, I created the best I could a schedule for the entire month. Now it is February, what's today? February 10th? It's February 11th, so a few days have passed and I've already completed some books that I set out to complete. So this is my reading schedule. You might have trouble seeing it. But to give you the gist of it, I'm not sure if that's focusing or not, is that I wrote all these little boxes. I created like a chart. On one side is the name of the book. On the top is like the date. You might not be able to see it, but what I always do is I always do this in pencil so I can rearrange. I always write down like underneath the day, like what page I want to hit for that day for that book. So I am a little behind in some of the books that I outlined for the first few days in February. So what I'm going to do later on today is just erase the dates that didn't really work out for me and kind of move my schedule around. So now that I've been in it for 11 days, I now know like, okay, what am I capable of churning out when I have work, especially because I've been working late a lot. So now that I've had like at least a week to kind of get a feel for like, okay, how much time do I have to read? What would work best for me? What's realistic? I can now like rearrange my dates or rearrange my pages on my little chart here to better fit a schedule that would work for me. And since I always write in pencil, it's just so easy to erase and like rearrange the targeted pages that I want to read for later. And one of the things I like to do when I'm done with a book, like I finish 2 books, I actually finished 3, but I didn't color it out yet. I finished this top book here, Pendragon. I finished the 4th book in the Pendragon series, and so I need to cross that one out. But once I finish a book, I just color the entire row and write complete. And some of these books I have completed early. So for example, the Pendragon book, I wanted to complete it by the 12th, and I finished it last night. So now I can rearrange like my other books that I stuck on my TBR for this week. I can rearrange it and get done with it sooner rather than later. And that's one thing I strive to do. Like even though I schedule out what pages I want to hit for that particular day, I do try to overread. Like if I set myself to read up to 210 pages, if I'm feeling energized, I will try to read over that. So then the next day, if I don't have enough time to read because maybe something comes up, or maybe we go out to dinner and that takes time, I will be ahead, if that makes any sense. So at the beginning of February, I kind of pulled some books from my shelves, some physical books from my shelves, because if anything, I want to tackle a lot of books that I own. So these books here are all the books that I want to complete in February that I physically own. Of course, I do have some books that I'm listening to on Overdrive. I do have some ebooks that I'm also reading on Overdrive. So I'm hoping I just have a really good month. I really am feeling good about it. I'm really proud of what I was able to accomplish so far. And so in the month of February, since I know that I want to have a very ambitious TBR, in order for me to realistically achieve that goal is really coming to terms with what kind of reader that I am. I know that I'm a slow reader. I know that I have some serious book ADD in the sense that I get bored really easy with books if I just don't like them. So as far as being a slow reader, I know that I'm just not able to read fast. I can't set myself up to be like, okay, I'm gonna read 200 pages in an hour. I know that's just not realistic for me. So what I do is, since I am a slow reader, I try to just add time. So instead of staying up late at night watching YouTube videos, which I do every night, I decided to cut back on watching like my normal YouTube videos that people that I like watching. Instead of watching them at night, I will spend time reading instead. And like on the walk to school, instead of just walking in silence on the way back home, I will like listen to a portion of my audiobook as I walk home. So those things there. I know I can't speed up my reading, so I just try to find more time to fit reading in. And as far as my book ADD, since I know that I'm having a really hard time staying focused on a book, especially if it's just kind of so-so, I am playing it safe, and I am really focusing on a lot of books on my TBR shelf, a lot of books that I own that are really thin. So that's a lot of nonfiction, and I'm just focusing on books that are thinner, that I can read in a matter of a couple days. And if I don't like it, then it doesn't really take that long to read, you know? And since I am participating in a lot of readathons this month, and since I'm trying to challenge myself not to double dip in the challenges where like you read a book and then that will fulfill like 2 of the challenges at a time. So since I am challenging myself, if there's 5 challenges, I want to do all 5 challenges. Now realistically, because like I said, I'm not a fast reader, in order for me to achieve that, I have to incorporate books that I have already started reading. So I said this in my last video that I tend to start a lot of books and then I go to like a next book and I just like put down that other book and I just don't finish them to completion for whatever reason. So I have a lot of books that I own that I have reached like halfway or that are nearly finished. So I'm going to take this opportunity to finish up those books that I have previously started, and being able to fulfill also the challenges within my readathon that I'm participating in. So one of the things I am also being aware of, and part of my strategy is in past readathons, I am very aware that if I read book after book after book, like one after another, I do start to get tired. And in order for me to avoid that, I've decided to be realistic and incorporate manga to break it up, because of course when you read a manga, it's not as hard because you're just not constantly reading like a full page of words. Of course you have like illustrations that you can look at, and it's like a whole different ball game when it comes to manga, and it's a lot easier, and it just gives you a break from reading like book after book after book, if that makes any sense. So whenever I get to the point in my readathon or when I'm challenging myself, I will insert a manga or two to kind of break it up, so I don't feel like I'm constantly running uphill, you know? So yeah, in a nutshell, that is kind of my strategy for tackling a big TBR for this month. I hope that that was somewhat coherent. I kind of am doing this on the fly, just turned on my camera and just start talking, telling you what I've been doing. So yes, for the month of February, I hope to really push myself and see what I can do. I have completed 4 books so far, and some of those books might not necessarily be for the readathon. It might just be a book that I've just completed in February. But so far I have completed 4 books, and I expect to complete 1 more today. But we shall see. I'm just gonna keep going. So if you also want to challenge yourself this month, let me know. Maybe I can follow along with your progress. Maybe we can do it together. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I'll keep you updated at the end of the month on how I did. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later.